Hey, Happy New Year's, though it is a little bit late. Um, we're gonna do a nice, in-depth, though not too in-depth, but a in-depth enough discussion on the art of mentalism, or psychic entertainment, or psychological illusion. Those are all names for mentalist. A lot of people don't know what a mentalist is. I know on my business card it says magician, psychic, entertainer. I'm not saying I'm psychic. I'm saying I do psychic entertainment. And certified hypnotist. I've done a lot of different mentalism here on YouTube, and you've seen it. You've seen stuff that I've done with Steve. Steve, he's drawn an image. I think it was a pepperoni pizza. I don't know. And he folded it up or something. And I was able to duplicate what it was that he thought of. And that is a feat of mentalism. Or they'll write down a name. I deciphered the name. It can be done with cards. It's not totally, but it is different from the art of magic and sleight of hand. It's like this, because I've done mentalism, and people afterwards will be like, hey, great trick. And I mean, obviously you can't get upset or yell at someone for a compliment. But what I will, how I respond to that is I say thank you for complimenting me on my mentalism in caps experiment. It's never a trick. It's not like a magic trick. I mean, they both amaze. And yes, there is a method to it. There's methods to everything. But it would be like you have a guitar player and a drummer. Though they both make music, what they do is totally different. That would be like going to a guitar player and saying, hey man, good drumming. They're like, what? No. See, like in a magic show, you have 6 basic tricks. You have only like 6 basic tricks. You have solid through solid penetration. That could be cutting a lady in half. Or that would be healing and restoration. The same feat is done with like a torn newspaper or cut rope and it becomes one. You have appearances, disappearances, a transportation where one thing goes from one place to another, or a transformation where one thing turns from what it was into something else. You got floating. But there's only just there's only about 6 or 7 different laws of physics that you're breaking. Okay? In a mentalism show, a good mentalism show, you will never see anything like that. Actually, what you need for a mentalism show is very little, because you're working with the people's thoughts, hence the mental and mentalism, and so on. If you're going to put on a good mentalism show, everything should be able to fit in a small briefcase. You might have like a blindfold or papers. You definitely need papers. You might have a writing board you write on, and so on. Envelopes. Now, you might have like a box or a glass bowl or whatever to collect slips for like a question and answer act. Oh, by the way, they consider that out of all the different things in mentalism, because in mentalism you have premonition, which is the foreseeing of the future. You have clairvoyance, which is like the reading of things that aren't known to anyone. Like someone goes into a dark room with 6 different colored marbles, puts one color in the black bag, and they honestly can't see. Then they put the others in their pocket, and they come out, and then you decipher what color is in the bag. That would be clairvoyance. You have psychometry. That's where you collect, like, I don't know, 5 different items from 5 people in envelopes or whatever. They're mixed up. You take them back, and you open it up and see what it is, or there's some methods where you tell them what it is, and then you, by just looking at the object, you start to read characteristics of the owner, and then you give it to the person, the right person that did it. That's psychometry. The Q&A act, that's when people in the audience, they write questions down, not things that they already know, but things about the future. Will I get the college loan? Or when will I get married? Stuff like that. And the slips are folded, usually collected in some type of container or a bowl or something. Some of the slips are put in envelopes, and the mind reader will hold it to their head and will not only answer whatever the question is, but they will give a small reading to them. And that's considered to be the top thing in a mentalism show, is the question and answer act. And because before the performance, people might write questions down or stuff. I don't work that way. I like doing everything in real time. I never use plants or stooges or instant stooges or anything. Yes, you can get an accomplice in a second. You can say, we have not planned anything, have we? And they will honestly say no. And then you'll say, come up on the stage. I want you to help me. And I want you to look into my eyes, and I just want you to think of a word. And what you have on your palm is a piece of paper with a word on it, or just written on the skin. So you're cueing that person instantly on the spot. They call that the instant stooge. I don't do that, because when I do mentalism, I want everyone to be fooled, you know? And that's what mentalism is. It's getting the audience to like you, engaging them, and really entertaining them. And another difference in mentalism versus a magic trick, and I'm not talking bad against magic or magic tricks, because I'm a magician as well. And as you've seen on YouTube, I do a lot of sleight of hand and magic. but I'm a mentalist too, which is separate. They're separate modes. But if people see you do something with mentalism, and then they ask you how much you charge to do a kid's party or something, or how did you learn that, then your presentation wasn't that good. Now if they're like, how did you know that? Or, dude, you're freaking me out, man. Get out of my mind. Then you know you've done a good performance. Because the person has to go away thinking that he possibly could have done it the way he said he did. Maybe he really did read my mind, you know, or whatever it was, or maybe he can predict the future or whatever, you know. Like I say, I don't make supernatural claims. I do say I am a mind reader. And if you think about that, that's true. I may not say how I read the mind, but I do it, you know. See, some mentalists think they have to have a disclaimer, and that is everything that you're seeing is all based on science, psychology, trickery, and so on. Then there's some people who will just stay in character and say, yeah, you know, I'm going to do some supernatural stuff for you. Myself, I don't confirm nor deny. Sometimes I will say that I'm using the 5 senses to create the illusion of the 6th sense. You know, and to me, that's the perfect definition of mentalism. You know, you know, a mentalist, they don't carry props. You know, they might carry a deck of cards, because a deck of cards to a mentalist, it's just 52 different images. Whereas a card player, you have cards, suits, and values, and so on. So yes, you can use a deck of cards. Well, in mentalism, it's a little better to use ESP cards, which I do. Or you can use, even better, you can use symbols. You can see all the different symbols and stuff. And you can't see through them. And obviously, you can't mark them or anything like that. And I'm going to show you a mentalism experiment that I'm going to do. But like I said, you know, it doesn't anger me, though it does get a little on my nerves when someone says good trick after I've done something with mentalism. But that's just because they don't know the difference, because both are amazing. So, and it's a compliment. I mean, you can never be angry at compliments. But some people will say, hey, great mentalism feat, F-E-A-T, or hey, great mind experiment, or nice psychological illusion, or whatever, and so on. And then there's mentalists who actually do readings. I have probably 20 books on giving psychic readings, you know, and it's based on cold reading, which you can look up on Wikipedia. There's warm reading, hot reading, and so on. I mean, you can work a party for an hour just doing psychic readings for people. That there is a bit advanced, and a lot of it too, you do truly use your intuition and your gut, and with experience you can be a better reader. I always say, you know, I do it for entertainment or so on. But you'd be amazed on how many hits I get about that person, and they like truly freak out, you know. Yeah, it's fun. Get this. This is a book. It's called Red Hot Cold Reading, and I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs out of it, and there's going to be an A and a B, and you're going to tell me which one. It's all based on presentation that you like best, okay? Like, consider the divination of a card, a selected card. Which of the following is more powerful to you? A. Now your card is lost in the deck. Isn't that so? You have cut and shuffled the cards, and there is no way for me to know the location of your card. Wouldn't it be interesting if I could find your card? It would be a miracle, wouldn't it? And now you find the card either by spelling to it, or you can make it float out of the deck, or you can show them and they say, no, that's not it. And then you put it between their hands and it transforms into their card. That's one I like. Or B, Mary, do you believe in ESP? Jung talked about synchronicity, a kind of cause and effect that isn't coincidence. There is a kind of meaning to events. Now, in this case, I believe that your card you selected wasn't just due to chance. I sense that you are concerned about a relationship. It could be money, work, communication. That's in the commas or whatever. And that you are, in a sense, trying to understand or perhaps make a decision. That would indicate to me that you would likely choose a heart, or whatever suit it is, and that the particular card in that suit would either be a 2 or a 3. Since you seem to be a very sensitive and concerned person and are more creative in your thinking than many people, I would suspect that it would be a 3 rather than a 2. Was your card the 3 of Hearts? It was awesome. Round of applause. Your intuitive powers and ability to concentrate. Your willpower is in fact very strong when you really want to apply it. Your open-mindedness and your determination can work for you. And that's B. It's the same thing, but presented differently. Obviously, B is, well, to me, the stronger of the two. You know, and there's some really insane mentalists, like, they're really good. Like, you know, you got Darren Brown, I'm sure you've seen him, heard him. I wouldn't pay attention to people like Chris Angel and stuff. Some mentalists think it's okay to use a stooge or a plant because to them, their ultimate goal is to entertain the audience. And if using a secret helper helps that, then it's okay. That's one line of thinking in mentalism. I personally don't do that. You know, I try not to judge those who do. They have their own performing styles. But people talk, you know, and if you have a reputation of using stooges in your act, then the stuff that you did that you didn't use stooge, you're just going to assume it was set up. And I never want that. I want everyone to be fooled. I don't want any person in on it. So you can honestly, on the Bible, believe that when I say there's been no prearrangements or anything, that it is the truth. And I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of pure mentalism for you. Not a card trick. But this, and I took off my mat. There are no mirrors, nothing funny. Got a completely opaque plate. I have no shiners. A shiner's a small mirror. I have no mirrors or nothing. And we're going to use these images. And through the computer, I'm going to try to read your thoughts, okay? And you have like 40 different symbols, as you can see. And I will mix these. Oh, never mind. Here. These are a little harder to mix than cards. Okay. And I want you to see me. I'm going to spread through one by one, and the backs are pure white, like I said, and I'm going to grab a card randomly just out of the deck as I spread. Check it out. Let's see. I'm going to use this one. Hopefully that can be seen. Everyone see that one? Okay. And it goes under the plate. These go back here. Okay. And put them away. So, I'm going to try to get my face in. So this is under the plate. I don't know what it is or anything. I do want you, now I could duplicate it in a drawing, but I'm going to try to do just direct thought reading, or telepathy as it's known. Concentrate. Okay, I'm getting like a curve, like in the upper half. The bottom half kind of goes out a little bit, or something unusual about the bottom. I'm seeing like a guy in a white coat with a drip. It's a small, okay, a dentist. I don't know. Teeth. Oh, it has something to do. What is it? Oh, a skull. A skull. You know, a skull. Let's see. And I got it. And I want to thank you for helping me receive that thought. Obviously, there is a way to do that. But still, it's not a, quote, magic trick. that's a mentalism experimenter feat. You know, that's one way. Here, we're going to try something else. Okay, this is really cool. I think you'll like this. I want you to envision like a movie screen, okay? A white movie screen. Just really use your mind to envision that, okay? Now, I want you to think of an object, but not an object that you would find inside. That would be easy. Something outside. Think of something on the outside. And I want you to think of it when I clap my hands. It's an object on the outside. Nice. Let's see, because I projected my thoughts to you. Now, how many people thought of a tree or a car? About 70% of you. Now, how many people thought of one of those? About 90%. That's pretty good. Now, that's more a psychological thing. But it's good. It's a good opener. You know, it's a good way to start a mentalism show. Because mentalism, it's mostly like a one-on-one thing. But when you can use the whole audience, that's good. That's a great opener to do. And it gets people in the mood. And also, when you start a mentalism show, it's good to kind of start off with a joke, you know. Because mentalism can be inherently threatening. You know, that, oh wow, he's going to read my, what? You know, I don't want him to say something that's really private. There are some people like that. So, that's a good way to put people at ease before you blow their minds, literally. Because mentalism, it's a mind, a mental thing, like I said. So, that's basically the talk on mentalism and how it differs from magic, and how I also make no claims either. Alright, I hope that talk was entertaining and informative. Alright, and not only be on the lookout for my magic and hypnosis, but also my mentalism stuff. Thank you, God bless, I love you. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's.